sisters, Celia and Esperanza, were the ones who raised him when he lost his mother when he was 6 months old and his father when he was 4. I grew up in a village near Culiacan, Sinaloa, in the northwest of Mexico. As a child, I loved to climb trees, run in the fields, cut their fruit. I also liked to sing, and I was known as a road runner because I was always in a reel walking long distance in my village. During my childhood, I spent several summers in the United States. So one day, I could be running on the fields, and the next week being amazed by the tall buildings of Los Angeles. Seeing those contrasts in my childhood taught me to appreciate many things and to question other things during my childhood. My mom was a dressmaker for wedding and pageant dresses, and I will miss her every time she went to Culiacan to buy fabrics and thread. Although now knowing my mom, I'm sure she took advantage of those times to go to the movies by herself and eat without us. Realizing how much I miss my mother during those short trips really impacted my perception of my father, knowing that he did not have a mother. Sometimes I tried to give him experiences as a son and told him or read him stories. People will tell me often that I look like my grandmother Catalina, and I will take that with pride. As a child, I attended a Catholic school. The nuns heavily influenced my childhood. It was they who once they told me that I should pick up the microphones and start reading poetry. One time even, I thought in the mass, in the microphone, that I would become a nun, Sister Esperanza. Well, I was in a Catholic school, but I was not baptized. Let me tell you that when I was a baby, all the preparations were made. But my dad arrived late to the mass because the family had already started to celebrate early at home. And learning about these events, the priest refused to baptize me in the parish of the Sacred Heart for Jesus. So everyone went back home and continued celebrating the non-baptism. According to my mom's photo album, they all had a good time. The years went by, and the church still have the same priest who did not change his mind, which made me a continuous catechism student for 6 years. Sometimes the little ones thought I was a teacher. I perfected my knowledge on all the books, and every Sunday I shrunk in the benches every time the father said, "We are all children of God by baptism." I knew in the eyes of the church I was a grade without a name. The priest left town one day. He did not give me the baptism, nor did I become a nun. Finally, I was baptized by another priest at age 12, in which was become a magical and victorious day in my childhood. After that, I went to a public high school. I liked to read and participate in school. I was member of the student council. I won debate contests, participated in theater and reciting. As I grew up, the bracelet that I told you at the beginning, durante all these years began to get a little bit tight. And a couple of times my dad repaid it until the end of my high school when I stopped using it. Later, I got married and had my first daughter, starting another stage in my life. Remember when I mentioned that I like to have similarities with my grandmother? Well, my daughter was born on the same day as my father. Therefore, I gave birth the same day as my mother did. That was a magical and fabulous coincidence in life. Today, I live in Arizona since 2004. I'm a property manager. I own a small conditioning business. I participate in a Spanish radio program. I give training to small businesses through an organization called Local First Arizona. And 1 year ago, I started performing with a local group of theater. And 2 years ago, I had the fortune to find Toastmasters, and I see an opportunity for new challenges in this club. For a long time, I didn't wear my bracelet, until recently when I found it in an old bag. It reminded me how everyone called me when I was growing up. Before I knew my name was Celia Esperanza. I saw on the bracelet the sound of my mom calling me to eat, of my friends, or getting home and taking the backpack of my neighborhoods, of my family. My husband, when I told my husband the story of the bracelet, he sent it to get it fixed so I could wear it once again. And see it on my hand, it reminded me the girl that still lives in me. And also remind me the story of that day at the jewelry store. and my dad's question as what name should be engraved on my bracelet. With a shy tone, afraid to disappoint him, by not choosing the name he gave me, I told him, "And what if we put Chelly, Daddy?" He just looked at me and nodded. Chelly will be mija. Toastmaster, my name is Celia Esperanza, and also called Chelly, and it was a pleasure to introduce myself today.